The church was built between 1851 and 1853 by the famous architect Victor Bourgeois. His work had a great influence on the architectural appearance of Quebec, and this church is one of the key examples of his legacy. The building is built in the Neo-Gothic style, with its characteristic pointed arches, high vaults, and an abundance of decorative elements. The interior of the church is decorated with magnificent stained glass windows and exquisite altars created by the masters of that time. Purpose of construction. The church was built to serve the Catholic population of the Faubourg, Quebec area, where residents did not have the opportunity to regularly attend the main parish church. Thus, the building fulfilled an important religious and social function for the local community. In 1884, the altar of the Sacred Heart was installed, made of multicolored marble with gilded copper reliefs, which became a real work of art. The building is also known for its openness to the LGBTQ+ community, housing the Chapel of Hope, dedicated to the memory of AIDS victims. Today, the church continues to function as an active parish, holding regular services and serving as an important cultural and religious center for Montreal. Its rich history and architectural value attract both believers and tourists who want to soak up the atmosphere of the past. Before you is St. Patrick's Basilica, not just a church, but a symbol of faith, resilience, and cultural heritage of the Irish community. Its spires, reaching into the sky, have been a reminder of the contribution of the Irish to the history of the city for over 170 years. Let's go back in time. History and construction, a temple born of hope. 1843, the beginning of construction. Irish immigrants fleeing the potato famine needed their own spiritual center. March 17th, 1847, the first Mass, dedicated to St. Patrick's Day. The church is consecrated, although the interior decoration continued for years. 1870s, the Twin Towers are completed, 70 mentors high, becoming the architectural dominant of the area. This is the first English-speaking Catholic church in Montreal, built despite language and religious barriers. Architecture, Neo-Gothic with an Irish accent, inspired by the cathedrals of Great Britain and Ireland. The facade features pointed arches, carved gargoyles, and a rose window. The interior features oak pews, 19th century stained glass windows depicting scenes from the life of St. Patrick, and an 1894 Cassavant organ. The altar is marble with Celtic patterns, a tribute to Irish roots. The purpose of the building, more than a church, to support the Irish who were subject to discrimination. Both English and French speakers prayed here, which was rare in the 19th century. 1877, the Prince of Wales, the future King Edward VII, visited. 1918, the funeral service for the victims of the sinking of the ship Ireland in the St. Lawrence River was held here. 1970, the church was almost demolished due to the construction of the CIBC skyscraper, but it was saved by protests from local residents. Current role, living history. Masses are held here in English, organ concerts, excursions, exhibitions about the Irish diaspora. Climb up to the observation deck in the towers. The view of the city is stunning. Welcome to the residence of the Grey Sisters, a historic building located in the heart of Montreal. Built between 1869 and 1871, it served as the mother house of the Grey Sisters Catholic congregation for over 130 years. The architects of the building were Alcibiade et Leprechaun, Joseph Venet, and Victor Bourgeois. The architectural style of the building is a mixture of neoclassicism and Romanesque revival. It is easily recognizable by its H-shape, austere facades, and an elegant octagonal tower with a chapel and spire. The building is surrounded by manicured gardens, paths, benches, and statues, as well as an ornamental iron fence and stone wall. It was originally the sisters' residence and the center of their charitable work, caring for the sick, the elderly, and orphans. Today, the building is owned by Concordia University and is used as student housing, but the building has retained its historical value. In 2009, it was officially designated a National Historic Site of Canada. In the heart of historic Montreal, where the legendary RMCC Club is located at 1850 Boulevard de Maisonneuve West. This building, rising at the intersection of streets, preserves centuries of history of sports traditions and architectural solutions. Architectural style. The building is an example of late 19th, early 20th century architecture, executed with elements of neoclassicism. Its monumental structure, brickwork, high windows, and decorative elements on the facade create an atmosphere of grandeur and stability, which was especially important for public buildings of that time. The architectural design of the building was designed by architects Hyde and Nobes, which is a typical example of the craftsmanship of that era. Originally, in 1892, the building was built to create a spacious club room for members of the sports community. Now, today, the building continues to fulfill its original function. It remains home to the Royal Montreal Curling Club. However, in addition to sports, it hosts cultural events, exhibitions, and other social events, making it a vibrant hub of city life. The building combines historical atmosphere and modern amenities while maintaining its unique charm. The Cathedral of Mary, Queen of the World, French Basilica Cathedral Marie-Reine du Monde, is located in Montreal and is the third largest church in Quebec. Architect and style. The cathedral is built in the neoclassical style and is a smaller copy of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. The cathedral was designed by Victor Bourgeois, and Alcibie de Leprehaun and Joseph Michaud also participated in the design. Construction history. After the destruction of the previous Cathedral of St. James in a fire in 1852, the Bishop of Montreal, Ignace Bourgeois, initiated the construction of a new cathedral. Inspired by his visit to Rome in 1857, he decided to create a smaller copy of St. Peter's Basilica. Construction began in 1875, and the cathedral was consecrated in 1894. Original and current purpose. The cathedral was originally built as a cathedral for the Catholic Archdiocese of Montreal. In 1955, at the request of Cardinal Paul-Émile Léger, the cathedral was renamed in honor of Mary, Queen of Peace. Today, the cathedral continues to serve as the principal church of the Archdiocese, serving as a place of worship and a major tourist attraction in the city. TD Canada Trust, Toronto Dominion Bank Branch. Architect, Ross and McFarlane Architects. Year built, 1908. Architectural style. Classic banking style of the early 20th century with neoclassical elements. This building is distinguished by its monumentality and strict geometric forms, which emphasize the reliability of banking institutions of that time. Original purpose. The building was built to house a branch of the Bank of Toronto, one of the predecessors of TD Bank. Historical information. The Bank of Toronto opened its first branch in Montreal in 1860. In 1955, it merged with the Dominion Bank, forming TD Bank. Current purpose. The building is still used as a banking institution. Despite the development of the city, it has retained both its function and architectural value, becoming part of the historical landscape of St. Catherine Street. Construction of the church began in 1894 and was completed in 1896. The project was designed by architect G. Mann and was built by Métivier et Compagnie. The building is in the Neo-Gothic style, typical of the late 19th century. Its spire rises above the area, giving the structure an imposing appearance and symbolizing the spiritual aspirations of the community. Église Unie Saint-Jean was originally founded as a French-speaking Protestant church in 1841, the first such congregation in Montreal. In 1869, it received the status of an independent church, and in 1925 it became part of the United Church of Canada, the largest Protestant denomination in the country. The church has gone through many transformations. It has been involved in social initiatives, supported French Protestant culture, and has also been involved in the fight for human rights. Thanks to its open spirit, Église Unie Saint-Jean has become a symbol of dialogue between religious and cultural groups. Today, Église Unie Saint-Jean continues to operate as a center of spiritual life for French-speaking Protestants. The church is actively involved in the social life of the city, organizing cultural events, concerts, and meetings for various communities. It is also open to LGBTQ+ people and plays an important role in promoting inclusivity and social justice. Interesting facts. Église Unie Saint-Jean is the oldest French-speaking Protestant church in Montreal. The building is located in a zone of exceptional historical and cultural heritage, which highlights its architectural and cultural value. Despite its religious roots, the church has become a place for cultural dialogue and musical performances, often hosting artists and musicians. The architecture of the temple is unique. A gray stone facade, tall lancet windows with stained glass, original elements of the 19th century interior.